Alright, here we go with a customs run, which isn't necessarily a combo in and of itself. It's really a team designed to counter one specific opponent. Now, since the update came out, some of the stuff that was on the test server, which I assumed would not make it to live, has actually made it to live. And one of those teams is Warf plus the new Maltese. So Maltese originally used to pass mana backwards, like you would exchange trumpets for mana. But the way it works now is that it will spread the mana out. So kind of like rock, but in reverse, and you're still spinning trumpets. And this is kind of useful because you can, then use it to power more mana pets instead of just one. Now the problem with it is that when the mana gets passed backwards, it's being done in individual increments. So I don't know if it's 1 or 2 mana, but every time it passes mana back, it's going to activate the mana gained trigger, which exists on Warf. Now, when Unicorn Pack was released, this was a major problem. The Warf plus rock. In fact, Warf plus really any of the mana applying units. There were so many ways to give it tons and tons of triggers, and then it would just wipe whole teams, even though it was a tier 1 originally, and then it got moved up to tier 2. It is still tier 2, although it's obviously not as good as it used to be. I think it did get buffed in this update, although I'm not sure how much of a difference that makes. But yeah, I'd been made aware in the Discord that at least one person was running this team in customs, and so I decided to try and get a clip of Warf versus Ghost Kitten. So this is a matchup I've seen in some other videos before. It's just one of those ones where it's very difficult to manufacture because usually there's no reason for there to be Warf teams in the pool. So you could play all day and never see one. But since I knew for a fact that there were some teams, I decided that today was the day. I say today as if this was recorded earlier today, but no, it was last week sometime, I suppose. So we're just going to run a 4-squad here because we've got the Falcon, can't play it at the front. Actually kind of odd playing with the new toys. I guess it has been that way since before Christmas, but it just shows how little I've played over the holiday period. Yeah, being able to stock the food that now gives the that allows you to regenerate the toys is kind of strange. To be honest, I think most of the toy pets that you had before, or that you would take before as buy-sells, like if you're just playing optimally, you're just going to keep them. Things like Stingray and Mongoose and so on. Because, you're just going to be able to regenerate the toys indefinitely without actually having to have waffle. So pretty strange in my opinion, but maybe that's going to improve Pack 2 from a 1v1 perspective. I don't know. Because the likes of Rev haven't really been uploading, it's difficult for me to know what's going on in 1v1 at the moment. Well, I suppose it wouldn't be all that hard if I went and researched it, but yeah, if I don't have time to make videos, I don't have time to do 1v1 research either. So here we go. On turn 9, we level up into Quetzalcoatl, which I wanted in order to get the level 3 Ghost Kitten. It would be nice to have multiple Ghost Kittens as well, although I don't think that's going to happen in this run. But we do get double Kets. And actually this pack might look kind of familiar because this is very, very similar to the weekly, the Mirror Weekly. I think I was playing initially on my phone and I just took whichever pack I had and then added Ghost Kitten to it. And because that Mirror Weekly had Quetzalcoatl in it, that was perfect. So we've got the Blueberry on the Ghost Kitten as well. Because Warf is random, we want to guarantee that all the hits go onto the one unit. And because level 3 Ghost Kitten blocks 9 damage, I think it is, it's not going to take any damage at all from the Warf. Actually, there you can see it blocking the damage from Geometric Tortoise. And we're going to beat this person who plays Bird of Paradise every game. Okay, what's going to happen now? Buy, sell, questing beast. And take Excalibur. Not sure that was really necessary, but I just like taking Excalibur whenever it's available. This is kind of funny. They've got Fly at the back with Takushi. So I'm not sure exactly what was going on here, but you can see the fly ends up spawning, or the zombie fly ends up spawning behind Takushi, which is a bit of a strange interaction, but I suppose that makes sense. Not sure why I froze the mushroom there. I think there were some games where I was playing Mushroom Wolf just to have some kind of a summon. Oftentimes, even with the Ghost Kitten damage blocking, you can face certain summon teams. You know, like if they have Skunk, and Ghost Kitten is obviously our biggest unit here, we could still lose it altogether, you know, from a leopard hit or something. Even, I guess Tomato would do 1 damage, wouldn't it? Although you don't see too many Tomatoes in Customs. Level 3 Venus Flytrap there, so presumably going for the achievement. And the Ghost Kitten ability does block Mana Snipes as well. So we only need a couple more wins here, but the problem is I'm not seeing any Warf teams. And I think actually throughout this entire session, I only saw 1 Warf team, and it was Freets, and it was on like turn 5 or 6. So yeah, kind of mini spoilers at the end here. We're not going to see any Warfs, which was very frustrating. On the rounds where I actually got the team going into a position where it would fully counter a Warf team, we just didn't get to see any. So what's the final opponent going to be? Is it going to be on this turn? I'm actually not sure. I think we might start losing some hearts pretty soon. It is turn 14, so that tends to be the way of things in Customs at the moment. I mean, to be honest, it would be the same in the past as well, but I feel like it's especially suspect at the moment. Yeah, here we go. The Behemoth train begins. We do get the copy of level 2 Silver Fox, though, which is nice. Still going to lose, though. We do have a few hearts, and I think at this point I was probably actually happy to lose, because I would imagine the Warf team is a bit harder to set up, or maybe it would be a bit less likely to be around on this turn. So probably we're looking to go like 16, 17, 18 to actually see it. Of course, like I already spoiled, we're not going to see any. And for some reason I'm checking the pack here. Not sure exactly for what. And now I realise what that was about. I was spectating the previous person because I wasn't sure if they had more than 5 super tags. That's something I haven't really talked about in detail on the channel yet. I just haven't had the chance to make a video like that. But look at this, instead of Warf, we get matched with Elephant Blowfish, and it's level 3 Hatching Chick as well. Which would have normally rubbed salt into the wound, but of course the Blowfish is going to hit the Ghost Kitten every single time, and it's going to do absolutely 0 damage. Let me know in the comments how much damage the Ghost Kitten's ability blocked in that single battle.